All right, good evening to you once again from the Storm Alert Center. The first post apparently didn't have any sound, so we are back live here on the Storm Alert Center announcing the beginning of the benefit for the Wiley Hudson family who lives along Highway 15 in the Breathitt County area, just to the south of Jackson. We met this family a couple of times when we were in the area with relief efforts, and we have once again decided to reach out to help somebody that they've lost everything in the devastating floods that came through the end of July. And the reason we're doing this, a lot of the money, or in fact most of the money that has gone into that region has been used for cleanup and for the disposal of all the homes that have been destroyed, as well as correcting the road situation. Many bridges are washed out, culverts are washed out, and it's a horrible place to be. If you've not been in that area, if you've not seen the things that the locals have had to deal with, and then if you're like myself, kind of being on the reporter side of the situation, as well as bringing supplies that people have donated, it's an awful scene, and to think that people would be proud to get a pack of crackers. They'd be proud to get a sleeping bag, even a portable blow-up mattress. The simplest things in life, they now treasure because a lot of people have nothing at all. And that's the same way with this family here today. And this is a picture of Wiley and his family that I've been able to meet, and some of the best people. They took me in as if I had been there and known them all their life. And as I said, they have lost everything that they have. And what we're trying to get for these people is a simple, I hate to say the word shed, but this is like the buildings you see that's prefabricated along the highway for sale. And this is what we're trying to get for this family. We're wanting to get this before the weather gets cold. We're going to run the benefit for the month of September, and hopefully we can make this happen. This is a very simple request. $50,000, I believe, will come close to purchasing the structure, the building, and it will go a long way to finishing the inside. And this is what we're wanting to do for this family. What happened to the ones that they had? Well, that is one of their residents before the water completely tore it apart, ripped it off its foundation, and sent all of the contents downstream. And it's hard to believe that water has that much force, but that's what's happened. And there's no sign of that building anywhere. Maybe parts of it's strewn around. Highway 15 slammed up against the guardrails. That's the scene in eastern Kentucky. Looking at it from, I would imagine that's probably a drone, but the families provided pictures of the property not long after the flood waters began to recede. And you can see there's nothing left at all except mud, water, and debris. That's the scene from their property. After the waters went down, you begin to see some sense of normalcy, but all of their belongings, all of their resident is downstream somewhere. nothing can be salvaged. There's nothing there. And I can attest to this because I have been on the grounds. I have seen exactly what has happened. This is another view of the property on down just a few feet where another home sat. And the destruction in this area is so amazing. You just can't hardly believe what has gone on. The money can be sent to the First National Bank in Russell Springs in care of the Willie or Wiley Hudson Flood Benefit, 36 West Steve Warner Drive, Russell Springs, Kentucky, 42642. That is 36 West Steve Warner Drive, Russell Springs, Kentucky, 42642. The goal is to raise $50,000. And I know that may seem like a lot of money, but there's a lot of people that are in need. And of all the money that's been sent so far, the amount of people that have actually been helped to try to get a new place to live and to find a new structure to get into before winter has been very few, at least where I've been. People are living in cars, they're living in tents, they're living in places that are mold infested, that they're working very hard to get prepared for the winter months. I know that because I've been there. And there's countless homes and countless families we could have reached out to. But when I met Mr. Hudson and his wife, Mary, as I left their place and went up the hollers of Breathitt County and Perry County, something told me, you need to go out and help these people. And through our Facebook page, people have been helping. We had shared an Amazon wish list of things they needed, and people are giving that way. We appreciate everything. And even if you can't give a lot, I saw a family today who, through a course of events, one gave $25. Somebody said, well, Mom, give 100. So we had 125, and before we left, we had $350 of people reaching in, giving $5, $10, $20, $25, and we had 350. That starts out the benefit. And I want to encourage everybody to reach out the best you can and help these people, because the next disaster could be us. And this is the Hudson family. They're just hardworking people from the mountains of eastern Kentucky. And after meeting them, I no longer consider them a stranger. I consider them friends. And all the money that we can gather through this, and you're going to hear more about it, you're going to read about it in the newspaper, and hopefully some of the state media will catch on to it. You're going to hear more about this. And we want to see the numbers go up, the amount of donations go up, and we want people to please give. This will be something that when you give, if we can get enough money, you'll see a house go up. And you could say, my dollar helped make that happen. And I know we had a benefit last month for the lady in Western Kentucky. And whenever we have events like this, I've given myself. I'm not asking for anything that I wouldn't put money toward myself. I've been over there working with the people, taking supplies, taking food, blankets, all kinds of things. and I'm doing my little part. And if you can afford, if you have the money to give to help this family, you can go to sleep and sleep a lot better, because after you see the conditions that some people are faced with, you'll definitely be appreciative of the home you have and the warm bed that you have and the fact that it's dry and not mold infested. The Hudson family lost it all. Some people are dealing with a horrible sight. Everything in their house tossed around, no doubt floated, and everything is mold infested. It's terrible. And the people of Eastern Kentucky are strong, and hopefully they can overcome this. But we're here tonight, we're here this evening, I guess, to ask you to please consider giving, and giving big, because we want to make this happen. If we can get this much money, then you can say, I'm part of something great. And even if after the month of September is over with, if we don't get the money that we're wanting, Mr. Hudson still gets that to go toward his home. And we want to see something great to say the people and the friends of the Storm Alert Center, they gave big, and they caused big things to happen. Not only big things, but caused good things to happen. And when everything you have is wiped out, when you have nothing and you have no neighbors to turn to because they're in the same shape, if not worse than you are, that's the situation in Eastern Kentucky. And I know we've talked a lot about this. We've shared a lot about it. You've heard me post things about this since it happened, and maybe it's getting old. And after this is over with, I'm going to have to hand the torch to somebody else, because it is honestly emotional to go over and see the shape that things are in, knowing that people no doubt floated downstream where we walked, and water up 10, 15 feet above their heads or higher. It's a horrible place, and I want you all to think about that. Tell your church, your civic organization, whatever you have, any contacts that you have, to take up money. And I know people may say we've already given. I've given a lot myself, on multiple things, and other people have too. But this is an act of kindness, and to show that the people of this area has a benevolent heart, because the next disaster could be us, through a tornado or whatever it might be. And we need to be there for these people. The people of Western Kentucky they've been working with Eastern Kentucky, because East Kentucky went to West Kentucky. And it's all about neighbors, helping neighbors. And the Hudson family, they've been my friends for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. But I will never forget them, and they will never forget you all. All the donations are going to be anonymous, so nobody's going to say, well, I gave big, and look what I done. It's not going to be that way. Everything's anonymous, but the account itself is public record. If after it's all over with, if anybody wants to see where the money has gone to, just ask me and I'll show you the bank account. Keeping things transparent, keeping things honest, it's not a problem. It's easy to do. So please, I just ask of you, on behalf of the Hudson family, give big. Scroll down the page and look at the interview I did with Mr. Hudson and his son-in-law, and listen to him tell you how that he held his grandchildren up over his head to keep them from drowning. and how the whole family fought to stay alive in the flood. That will make you think twice. I beg of you to help these people. You're not doing a thing for me. It's not about me. It's about the people in this picture. It's about the Hudson family, hardworking people. Everybody that I talked with up and down those hollers knew Mr. Hudson and knew what a man he was and how he helped the community that he lived in. So y'all get your checkbook out, make any of the amount that you feel like you can. That would be made to the Wiley Hudson Flood Benefit. Wiley Hudson Flood Benefit, and you can drop that off at First National Bank in Russell Springs, or you can mail your check to 36 West Steve Warner Drive, Russell Springs, Kentucky. That is Steve Warner, Wariner. That is the address to the bank. That is the only outlet now that's going to be taking money. So if anybody is out soliciting for this, it's not true. This is the only place. Someone mentioned maybe having a roadblock. If we do, we'll make that public. But as of now, that's the only place that's going to accept money. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Facebook Live for the Wiley Hudson family flood benefit from down in Breathitt County along Highway 15 between Hazard and Jackson. Come out and help these people, and let's make this area, let's put this area of where we serve, Russell and surrounding and wherever, let's put us on the map as saying we have done a wonderful thing through the Storm Alert Center, and you can be proud of it whenever this happens. You're going to hear more about this. We're going to do probably every other day updates on how much money is raised, and we're going to keep you informed, up to date, total transparency. Let's have a little fun doing this, because you're not going to miss $10 or $20. Just let's all pull in there. And as the old man used to tell me that I played music with years ago, he used to say, folks, we've got to hang together or they'll hang us separately. So let's go into this with a good feeling, a good benevolent, giving heart, and let's see great things happen for some deserving people who have lost